Welcome to Poppers and Popcorn, the podcast that brings all the colors of the rainbow to every movie that we do that with. I'm Matt.
And I'm Josh.
That's my intro, and I'm sticking to it.
No, I'm laughing because I started the episode, and the first thing I do is crash my face into the microphone.
Oh, yeah, we spent so much time trying to...
I did noise reduction stuff. I put down blankets, and I'm like, all right, let's move back from the microphones. Let's not be loud. And then I crashed my fucking face into it. So for those of you listening, if you hear like a giant thud in the beginning, I apologize.
It was Josh just like headbutting the microphone just to say hello.
Yeah, because I'm stupid. How was your week?
It was good. It was a good week. I worked a lot. I saw, a couple movies. And
I've seen a few movies this week, actually.
Yeah?
Oh my god, I've been doing a lot of watching this week. I've been watching a lot of things this week.
My whole life now is watching the Blu-ray set of Batman animated series.
Yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
It is. When Josh walked in, I was watching an episode where Batman's blind fighting the Penguin. Just so everyone knows, Batman animated series is maybe the best show of all time.
Yeah,
it's really good. The writing holds up so well. I'm getting to the point where they're doing like a bunch of like feminist episodes, like Harley and Ivy, and like when Batgirl first shows up, and it's just like really like filling my void.
I remember growing up and watching the Batman animated series. The one person I always wanted to be was Poison Ivy. It was
same
disgusting. Like I remember me and my friends in elementary school, like not even elementary school. I had to have been in like, I'm really young, so like kindergarten, first grade when it was like airing or whatever, and like. I remember, like, me and my friends would play it. All my friends would be like, I'm Mr. Freeze. I'm Bane. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to be Poison Ivy. And me and my friends are just going to be over here in this little corner. And I think a piece of it is also because, like, Schumacher's Batman and Robin is one of my favorite movies as a kid.
She's essentially a drag queen.
Not only is she a drag queen, because remember, that ape sequence is everything.
Everything.
Also, it's because, like, to me, she was, like, the coolest thing on Earth. Because, I mean, she was just, like, this woman running shit. Like, Bane is, like, this mindless monster who just, like, follows her every whim for no reason. And
which is also the worst version of Bane ever. But
100%. But anything, when you think about it, it's just, like, this little queen running around with a dom daddy. And
it's amazing.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay, so last week we decided we were going to talk about name our top 5 movies of all time.
Spitfire. Top 5.
Yeah, how about, do you want to start with number 5 and then I'll do my number 5?
I will do my number 5.
Okay, what's your number 5?
Okay, my number 5 favorite movie of all time.
Ooh.
It's not really that dramatic. Actually, it's Kill Bill, and they're
Both
tied.
of them?
Both of them are tied.
Okay.
I love I'm a Tarantino boy.
I think they're better together than separate.
Yeah, I'm a Tarantino boy through and through. So the Kill Bill movies are definitely my choice for number 5.
Are they your favorite? I mean, we'll get to it, I'm sure. But is there any more Tarantino on the list?
Yes.
Okay. Kill Bill is my favorite Tarantino.
There's more Tarantino on the list.
Oh God!
Believe me.
Speaking of standing directors who are sometimes questionable in their art, my number 5 is Darren Aronofsky's The Fountain.
I love Aronofsky.
Me too. Mother was my favorite movie from last year. Oh, Josh is giving a look. Mother was amazing, and I will not hear otherwise. No, The Fountain used to be like my favorite movie. I discovered it on HBO Go. No, just HBO, because that didn't exist in like 2007. When I was in high school, and it was really like the first movie that really like made me like think about like filmmaking as a storytelling art rather than just like going to see action movies and blockbusters and whatever rom-com was out, whatever shitty movie we went to see in middle school.
What year did you graduate high school? 2010?
2009.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you were a senior when I was a freshman.
Something like that,
yeah. Okay.
Math, I don't know.
I'm just making sure. Because I was a freshman in 2009, so it's just...
But, yeah, so The Fountain is a movie that, like, it kind of built out my love for, like, more complex cinema. It's a flawed movie, but it's really good.
Okay.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 movie. So, actually, you talking about something that builds your love for more complex cinema. My number 4 movie is Eyes Wide Shut.
Yo, I love Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut was one of those movies... I watched the first time I watched it. I was really young and I shouldn't have watched it like at all. But I got older and it came to Netflix.
Oh yeah, it was on Netflix for like a long time.
I think it still is. Is it?
I'm not sure.
It might be.
It might be.
It's still if it is, it's on my list. I remember I watched it again.
I own a copy.
I watched it again and just like watching Nicole Kidman in there was like she's fucking baller. But I think that,
And
like,
if you listen to our first episode, you know how much we stand
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman.
but the thing that really, like, set it apart to me was, like, for a while I wasn't watching movies like that because, like, I was watching, like, I was one of those Judd Apatow fanboys. Like,
You were?
watching all of the
Oh,
Judd
yeah,
Apatow
you love Superbad.
comedy movies. Oh,
Yeah.
it's on the list. So, oh, there we go, spoiling shit.
Okay.
No, but, like, it was one of those movies that, like, set things apart for me where I was like, oh, like, this is a really weird fucking story, and I'm in. Like, I'm into it. And, like, I don't know.
See, the way I think about Kubrick, he a lot of his best films, and we will get to Kubrick on my list. I think he's made the best of a bunch of different genres.
Yes.
And then he like 3 or 4 major
Yeah.
genres. Even Paths of Glory is like my second favorite war movie. But like you get to Eyes Wide Shut, which is borderline genreless. And it just feels like his
It is, but it's just like one of those movies that's like suspense it's like dramatic suspense. So like
but it's also like
genreless is
psychosexual,
a really good way.
Yeah.
To, like, I feel like Eyes Wide Shut is like the footsteps that like Lars von Trier was stepping himself into, because I feel like what Eyes Wide Shut lacks, movies like Antichrist and Melancholia deliver.
Interesting.
And I think that Lars von Trier is one of those people that like can get into that weird genreless area where it's all primal human sex and just raw. And I think that that's the thing that Eyes Wide Shut was a little bit afraid to do. Like I think Kubrick was a little bit afraid. Maybe not.
Was it Warner Brothers that did Eyes Wide Shut?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
It was also 1999. This
And
was
Lars von
Eyes
Trier
Wide
doesn't
Shut
live in
was-
America.
That and Eyes Wide Shut was not like a. It was a studio release. Well, 'cause it was Kubrick's last film, so
Yeah.
it doesn't have the benefit of like going to the art house directly, like most of Von Trier's films have. Okay, my number 4 of all time is Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh,
I
that's a good one.
love Star Wars, and Empire Strikes Back. I mean, it's just. I mean, not that this is even like a radical opinion, but like Empire Strikes Back is just the best one.
Okay.
And it's great.
It
and
is.
it advances everything that a sequel could possibly be, while just like totally disrupting like any narrative expectation and breaking a ton of rules and working 100% of the time while it does it.
Okay.
What's your number 3?
My number 3. Okay. My number 3 is a little bit of like a controversial one. Because I'm just going to say it.
Go ahead.
The Passion of the Christ.
Whoa. Whoa.
Okay. So we're going to talk about
Really?
Yeah, The Passion of the Christ. We're going to talk about it from a filmic standpoint, not for like religious reasons or anything like that.
What? How can you separate them?
Here's how.
Oh my god.
Stylistically and the filmmaking in this movie's fucking beautiful.
It is.
And like, okay, so I remember I went to go see it. I was in the 4th grade when it came out.
Okay, yeah, it was probably like
And
7th grade.
guess what Christian parents were doing? Bringing their kids to the Passion of the Christ.
My parents
So, like,
actually didn't bring me.
I remember as a kid watching the Passion of the Christ and like being fucking terrified. Like we went home and I was like looking over my shoulder for like the devil. Like I was just, because that devil in that movie is that fucking scary woman who's bald, had a worm coming
And
out
she
of her
has
nose.
that like baby.
Yeah, oh my god,
Yeah.
the baby that smiles.
No,
I remember
the devil was
almost
horrifying.
screeching when I
It
saw
really, the devil in the movie really reminds me of like, it feels like everything that the movie The Exorcist was working towards in a way, like that conceptualization of the devil. So I don't know.
Yeah, so that was the thing, and but I remember I watched it again like I think 2 years ago or last year, and I was like, whoa. This movie's fucking great. It sucks Jim Caviezel's blackballed from Hollywood because he's a great actor, and like
He is really good.
one of the most gut-wrenching scenes in all of cinema was that flogging scene where you see him getting ripped apart.
Yeah.
Like it's just
tough.
the way that it's made. It's like, yeah, there was an intent and everything like that, but like separating yourself from that, because I'm one of the people, I believe in compartmentalizing everything and separating the art from the artist and things like that and the intent, whatever. Stylistically, the film is one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen, and it's one of those movies that I think that like it proves that Mel Gibson, despite being a bad person,
Very bad person.
fucking artist.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, this is a different movie, but I am less so when I rewatched it recently, but for a long time I was really warm to Apocalypto.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really like
Apocalypto is a really good. I
I don't
remember-
understand why they speak like they're like contemporary people, like in the subtitles. It's very silly, but
because Mel Gibson doesn't have a broad view of the world.
He doesn't. But, like, at least Apocalypto was him trying.
Yeah.
Passion wasn't.
No, not at all. Passion wasn't. But again, Passion was one of those good ones. I just hit the microphone.
I guess.
I need to, like, reposition
so
my
my
body.
number
what's your number 3? Yeah, what's your number 3?
We talked about it a little bit last week as the gateway to me, like, looking at, like, at least, like, good movies and not just like blockbusters. But the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Really, all three tied.
All three tied. Yeah. Well, because I don't know, and I have another trilogy in here. Sorry. But so really my top 5 is 9 movies. But I can't really distinguish, like, which are better, because they're so much better together than they are separate. Not that they aren't great separate, but you do need the context of Fellowship of the Ring for Two Towers and Return of the King, and you need
you need the Two Towers for Return.
Well, I think you need all of them.
You do need all of them for each. Well,
they support each other incredibly.
They support each other, but I don't think you need. I mean, the Return of the King is very much the payoff for everything going on within the two movies.
But it's not just payoff. It's not like Godfather.
No, I'm saying that's one of the
Dark
reasons
Knight
why
Rises.
you need. One of the main reasons why you need 3. I'm not saying that's the only reason, but I'm just saying I'm agreeing with your thought process 100%.
Bitch.
I'm just like contextualizing it to myself. Are you calling me a bitch because I'm agreeing with you?
You were yelling at me.
I yell at everything. I have a lot
What's
of
your
feelings.
number 2?
My number 2 movie. Okay. So here's where it goes. This is where a tie comes in. And they're two very different movies.
Okay.
Superbad and Reservoir Dogs.
They are so different.
Superbad and Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs is my number 2 Tarantino to Kill Bill. Sorry, go ahead.
So Superbad, because it's one of those movies that it came out in 2007. In 2007, I was like this boy in a Christian school, like without a broad view of the world. I just knew that like penises were cool looking to me.
Did you draw them in notebooks?
I didn't draw them in notebooks, but like penises were cool to me. Like I didn't fully know who I was. I didn't know really anything about myself. Again, I was like 12, and I like watched Superbad, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna know anything about myself for another 10 fucking years. And for some reason, it gave me so much hope.
Oh, that's nice. That's
Superbad is one of those
cute.
movies that gave me hope, where I was like, because in middle school, like I had friends, but I didn't have like any real close friends that I could like latch on to and like have like a best friendship with. Like looking for the future, I was like, I knew I was going from Christian school to public school, and I was very excited about that because I loved Christian school, but I hated being in like this bubble, and like I was watching kind of like what I was hoping for my future to be, weirdly enough.
Interesting.
And the idea of like these, just like seeing Seth and Evan's friendship, I was like, God, like I just really want like a really close friend like that that I can just have. And like the idea of like these boys going to college and like leaving like this whole world behind, it kind of resonated with my life. I was leaving a world behind and moving to like a new chapter and like trying to figure that out about myself. Like that's kind of one of the things that really resonated with me. Now for Reservoir Dogs.
Oh god. Just to say it, I kind of love all your reasonings for loving Superbad. And it like kind of made me like Superbad more.
Reservoir Dogs. 1. That opening dialogue at that fucking diner table.
It's really good.
I remember when I first saw it. I saw it first on Netflix, and I rewinded it 12 times, like bunch of times, just to keep rewatching that scene because I was like, "This is everything." 2. Steve Buscemi steals the goddamn show.
I wouldn't even say that. I would say James Marsden does. I mean, I think they're all amazing in that movie.
James Marsden, like the guy that plays Cyclops.
Fuck. Who am I thinking of? The one who does the dance. Fuck.
Yeah, I was gonna get
what's
to
his
that.
name?
I can.
Fuck. No, not James Marsden.
Yeah. Wow.
His name is something similar to that. Michael Madsden.
Yeah, Michael Madsden.
Madsden.
I was gonna get to that. Vic Vega. I was gonna get to that. That was gonna be third reason. Vic Vega's fucking hot.
Oh.
He was fucking hot.
He's the dad in Free Willy, and I can't.
And that's stuck in the middle sequence where he sits on his lap and cuts that fucking ear off on the cop. It's just like,
is that hot to you?
Everything. It was just so fucking bone chilling and weird. Like he's a total nutcase. And also, it's one of those movies where everyone's dead at the end.
Yeah.
And I love movies like that because I like.
Do you love Rogue One?
No.
Good answer.
No. I was really trying to rationalize it. I don't. No, but it was just like a really cool ending to a movie, and just like I like I like Superbad for personal reasons. I like Reservoir Dogs a lot for emotional reasons.
Okay. So those are your tied for number
2.
Tied for number 2?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got lost in our countdown.
It's only been one glass of wine.
I've had half a glass of wine and I'm lost. I can't count anymore.
Jesus Christ, this is going to be fun.
So, number 2, I would say these 3 movies have ascended my ranking faster than any movie in my adult life.
Oh.
And it's Richard Linklater's Before trilogy.
Never heard of them. Teach me. Educate me.
You haven't heard of them?
Never.
Josh.
Oh my God. Are you offended?
I'm in pain.
Go see a doctor.
Pain. Okay, so Richard Linklater, kind of king of the indie in the 90s.
Okay.
With Dazed and Confused and Slacker. And yeah, no, he's an amazing director. I mean, he made Boyhood. Come on.
You know how long it took him to film Boyhood, right?
12 years.
It took him 12 years
Girl,
to make Boyhood.
I understand.
I'm just saying that's the
love Richard
only
Linklater.
thing that they were really trying to sell you on with that one for that whole season.
It's also an amazing movie.
But they were trying to sell you on one thing.
And it was the best movie of that year.
Do you know how long it took him to make it?
12 years.
12 years.
You can see it in the film too. Like it looks like took 12 years to make because the style of the different eras is apparent.
I'm just saying that was their selling point. Like that should have been
but like
honestly,
it's
I
still
feel like
good.
I'm pretty sure there was a poster that was like, "It took 12 years to make this." Like, that was the fucking
it's really,
tagline.
really good.
We'll talk about Boyhood another day.
Fine.
Keep going.
Anyway, the Before trilogy. Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy star as a couple who like kind of meets. The first was made in 1995. And they're a couple who meets on a train to Vienna. And they decide to get off on the train to Vienna and just kind of like walk and talk. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like My Dinner with Andre, but like very, like it's just a romance.
Okay.
And then they made a sequel in 2004.
Okay.
Where you find out the aftermath of what their meeting in 1995 was. Okay. And then they made another sequel in 2013. They're all 9 years apart. And you find out again what the aftermath was, and each movie takes place in a different.
Does he always
city.
hope that he dies between movies? Is that why he takes so long?
What do you mean?
He's like, I'm gonna make a movie that I'm gonna have a gap. Let's see if I die.
No, it's important. The gap is like so important for each entry that follows, because you like the opening scene of the third one, this extended drive through the Greek countryside.
Did it take 9 years?
No, these movies don't take them very long. I mean, it takes them a couple of years to
so
write.
It's not their tagline for these movies.
Fuck you.
This took 9 years to make. Come watch it.
That's not what he's doing. No.
Okay, good.
I think they write for a couple of years because the three of them started. Richard Linklater wrote the first one alone.
Okay.
And then Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke started getting screenwriting credits for the 2 sequels.
Does he work with Ethan Hawke often? Is like Ethan Hawke like that's his person?
Probably, yeah. They're both from Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's that. Okay.
And Ethan Hawke's character in the movies is from Texas. But it is the best and most honest portrait I've seen of like romance.
Okay.
In terms of like how two people connect, what they talk about, what they fight about, what they find pleasure in each other about. Like it's so beautiful. Especially in the sequels, the filmmaking is amazing because it was the first one's an indie from the 90s. It looks like it. Mm-hmm. But it's still like a very, very just well-written movie. And then the 2 sequels are just absolutely gorgeous.
One of the cool things, though, just like a really quick tidbit about indie movies from the 90s, like one of the cool things is like they look a certain way. Mm-hmm. A lot of indie movies from the 90s, especially ones that take place in New York, look like they're shot like sitcoms. Like
sort of, yeah. That's how
they're shot
Before
like a lot of them
looks.
are shot like Friends was shot.
Yeah.
And it's weird because like that's one of the things that I think really drew me as a child to certain movies was like there wasn't like a giant delineation between one or the other. Like I could feel like I was watching one and watching the other.
Well, I feel like the 90s was also the last era where like independent filmmakers didn't really have the devices to really play with style and aesthetic a lot.
Oh yeah, no, you couldn't.
So you did end up with movies like Dazed and Confused, like Slacker and Before Sunrise that have this like very amateur look about them, but they still ride in the coattails of amazing writing and stuff like that. Okay, so Josh, you're number 1. I know we talked about it a little bit last week, but
Get ready.
Remind us.
My number one is Comet by Sam Esmail, made in 2014. I literally, actually, I'm going to show you something in my phone. I watched it literally the other day.
Okay. The movie again? You watched it between our first 2 episodes?
And took annotated notes on it.
Oh my god. That can be like a bonus episode or something.
Yeah, so it's just one of those movies that like really intrigues me. I don't know what it is. It's so interesting. I remember I watched it on a whim on Netflix and I like fell in love. I fell in love with the characters. I fell in love. So I'm really big on a lot. So one thing about me that you probably don't know, I'm a lighting technician by trade.
Oh, okay.
I went to a school for that.
Cool.
I transitioned from lighting to writing because I'm an asshole. But like the one thing is like lighting was the thing that like got me. And like one of the things about Comet is it's only 5 different scenarios. There's like the first time Del and Kim meet, them in like a Paris hotel, the first time they break up, on a train.
Weirdly, this sounds like the Before trilogy.
They're on a train after they break up, and getting back together, and then there's a phone call between the two of them when they break up a second time, and then the 5th like thing is the book ending moments where he's like at her house 5 years later and just having conversation with her about I had these separate dreams, and each one of these scenarios we find out is like dreams that he was having, and then the last dream that he had was the moment they were having at that second.
Okay.
So it's also one of those like, is it real, is it not, and is this all in his head? It's just like one of those really just fucking good movies. Sam Esmail, fucking stellar director. Also, to answer your question, I remember you asked last episode, or maybe 2 episodes ago, how much of Mr. Robot he did. He did every installment.
That's not true. I looked it up this week.
I looked it up.
He maybe he's like, I mean, he's a showrunner, but he didn't direct every episode.
Oh, I just mean he had hands in every episode.
Well, yeah.
Like, you know, some creators don't have like a hand in everything.
Well,
some
yeah,
creators are like, I'll let you take the reins.
Yeah.
But it was it's just so fucking cool. Like, it's just one of those movies that's it's really badass.
I'll have to watch that.
It's run by 2 people.
Okay.
Literally the whole film is Emmy Rossum and Justin Long back to back, and for some reason it's the same 2 people, and they're such good actors that you can tell where they are in life, and they feel like they're totally different people in each scenario. And it's just
so we need amazing. To trade, and you need to watch the Before trilogy, and I need to watch this movie because they sound like they really tread on similar themes.
Probably,
yeah.
Except I'm only having you watch 1 movie, and you're having me watch 3. But
I mean, your top 10 list your top 5 list ended up being 7 movies, and mine ended up being 9. So
that's true.
My number 1.
Okay, yeah. What's your number 1?
I said I would bring up Kubrick because I have to. 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, it's really funny. We talked about that last week. Yeah.
That movie is it's the ultimate tale of humanity, I think. Beginning to, well, not end, but beginning to like the point in human society where we have to evolve. And I think that movie has also like kind of come back into relevance because we're at a point now where we need to evolve again, and we seem kind of stuck in this little spot that we're in
as humans. Yeah, like we're in like a little bog. I can see that. Yeah. I saw 2001: A Space Odyssey probably when I was a kid at like age 7 or some bullshit, and then like I didn't like get it. You know, no 7-year-old is understanding of 2001: A Space Odyssey. But I caught up with it again in like college and in my 20s and stuff. And this year, oh my god, I got to see it in theaters for the 50th anniversary screening. Okay.
And that was like maybe the best experience I've ever had at a movie theater. Okay. It's just such a cinematic work, and it's so beautiful, and it defines everything that I love about cinema, from just its creative aesthetic aspects to the complete mystery of what the movie is. And like one of my favorite things about that movie is that you can watch the whole thing, get an emotional reaction from it, and like have felt like you have learned something and still not understand it.
Yeah,
because the ending goes.
It's one of those movies
bananas.
you can watch every single time that you watch it. You'll get something new, or like 100%. You'll understand something more, and that's one of the things I really love about Kubrick.
It is maybe the most rewarding, challenging film of all time.
I could see that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so those are our top 5s. Now you know more about us. Here, pour me more wine.
I am. I'm going to.
So Josh, what is the gayest thing that happened to you this week?
Oh, we're gonna go straight into the gayest thing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so if there's anyone out there who knows me and is listening to this, there's two things about me that you'll know automatically: movies and drag. And this week was the announcement of the All Stars forecast for RuPaul's Drag Race. 10 queens are coming back again. They got more yes gods than the Vatican, and we are super excited. I'm super excited for this season. I mean, I'm not gonna act like I'm surprised when the girls were found out who was there. Like, I already knew from when they filmed this summer who had left and who was gone. Like, I already knew. Like, it doesn't matter. But I'm super excited. It's like it's really funny. It's like out of the 10 girls, I think. So I'm also one of those people that, like, I'm not one of those people that's like, I don't like this person drag. I don't like that. I'm one of those people that's like, all art is relative, and like I understand what everyone's doing. So I'm like, I'd be like, if I was ever like asked to be a judge on Drag Race, I'd be the worst, because like somebody could come out there literally not in drag at all, and like even wearing a mustache. Like I get it. Like it's like a play on womanhood, but from like a male perspective. I get it.
Just so everyone knows, Josh, before he came over, told me that his gayest thing this week was not that gay. And here we are.
No, I know. I'm just so excited. Like 10 girls are going to be going into this, and it's going to be a bloodbath.
When does it premiere?
It premieres December 14th after the Holla Slay Spectacular on December 7th.
Oh my god. I love gay culture.
I'm like, and it's really funny. So I didn't think I was going to be this excited for All Stars 4, because like All Stars 3 wasn't like my favorite season, but All Stars 2 is one of the best seasons of Drag Race of all time.
Okay.
So like, I was like, I'm not going to be excited for this. But then for some reason, I was just like looking at all these girls again, and just like the one thing that I'm excited about is the motherfucking runways. Because if there's one thing in Drag Race that I live for, I don't give a fuck about a challenge. I love a lip sync. I love a lip sync. But if there's something I live for and that I'm watching for, it's for that motherfucking runway. I'm here to see these bitches wear it. What are you wearing? How are you wearing it? And how are we doing it? And I already know for a fact we have like 5 to 7 fashion girls already on this season. That's I'm like getting overheated just talking about it. I'm so excited. This is going to be a really great season. And best believe, as it's happening, I will be giving you guys my gayest thing, probably as it's airing, will be that.
Every week.
And it's just going to be me queening. And I'm super excited. I'm living. Yeah, give me some diversity. What's the gayest thing that happened to you?
Somebody.
Or in you?
Well, did anybody finish with me this week? This week, no.
Oh, that's good. It's progress.
Yeah. The gayest thing that happened to me this week, somebody tried to blackmail me on Grindr with, like, my photos. Like, okay, so what happened was I was talking to this guy on Grindr while I was at work on, like, a Tuesday or something.
Something.
I don't know. And we started exchanging photos. Luckily, none of my photos, none of my, like, racy photos have my face on them.
I've never learned that.
What?
I put my face. I'm so narcissistic. If there's a picture of my butthole, I try to like peek my face.
No, but so this guy like he eventually, like, we got to the stage, where we were like texting, and like he was good at this. Let me tell you, he had like
he was like really good at blackmail. He's one of those homeless sexuals that tries to. Did he try to extort you for money?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
He like sent me all like screenshots of all my Grindr photos and was like, "Do you want to make a deal or I'm gonna expose you?" And I was like, "You're gonna expose me?
Are you a politician?
Do you like, I literally write for a magazine that covers interior design.
Oh my god, you should have sent him the podcast. Fuck. You should have like been like, "Oh, hey, watch our first like 2 technically 3. Watch the first episodes of this podcast."
Yeah, like no, I don't care. So he was like trying to like he was getting like somewhat violent with his threats, and I was like, I'm just gonna ignore you. You are full of shit. So that was the gayest thing that happened to me this week.
Was he attractive, or do you think he was catfishing?
Well, it was not. I assume his photos were not real. I assume.
Oh, so he was probably like some fucking like mouth breather.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, the photos he sent me, the person I assume that he stole the photos of, and the video he sent me, were very sexy.
You can send videos via Grindr now.
I haven't been
like on apps since like for a long time now, because I'm in a very beautiful relationship.
Good for you.
That is blossom. Actually, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Don't even let me get started talking about this man. I love him so much. I love him so much.
Maybe that's the gayest thing that happens to you every week.
Might be, because me and him are like besties at this point.
Aw,
yeah, we're like
cute.
one of those couples that are like best friends also. Like we hang out all day.
I'm just gonna keep drinking.
Yeah, like the other day, was it yesterday? We were like just like laying on the couch and like looking at each other, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm like obsessed with you,
That's
aren't
so
I?"
cute.
He was like, "Yeah, it's
I'm
mutual."
gonna throw up.
I know, I fucking love him. It's great. Yeah.
That's great.
Okay,
Okay, so
enough about the man in my life.
what is
we're gonna go to my news item. My
that
news
you
item
brought this week.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, and here's the reason why I'm excited. Because first, we're gonna start by telling you guys a little bit of a story.
Oh God.
Hold on, don't shut up. Don't say "oh God" like that.
Oh God.
It's a fun story.
Oh no, I'm sure.
Okay. The date is August 9th.
Oh my God.
The date is August 9th, 1969.
All right.
A young woman and her house guests are just chilling. They get a knock on the door. They open the door. It's a bunch of weird motherfuckers. And guess what those motherfuckers do? Murder them.
Oh God.
Yeah, the pregnant woman who gets murdered, Sharon Tate, wife of director Roman Polanski. She's gutted, helter-skelter written on the walls. Charles Manson's little cult did it. They killed the blonde bitch. And if there's one thing I love in America, it's blonde bitches getting killed.
Oh my God.
Okay, in movies, not in real
person,
life. I know.
There's actually a great Mad Men episode about Sharon Tate stuff.
Well, get ready. So, here's the thing. And here's what's exciting about it. Within this year and next year, there's like 3 Sharon Tate films coming out, and Tarantino's directing one of them.
Yeah.
But that's not the one I'm going to talk about.
Oh wow.
I'm going to talk about The Haunting
Going
of Sharon
off brand.
Tate. I'm going to talk about The Haunting of Sharon Tate.
Oh wow.
Because Saban Films actually just got the American distribution rights
Saban?
for it. Saban, they're the same bitch. What's also really exciting about it is that Jonathan Bennett is in it, Lydia Hurst is in it, but you know who's playing Sharon Tate? Hillary goddamn Duff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Hillary
You
Duff.
always take me on a little journey with your stories. Oh my God.
Hillary
That's
Duff
amazing.
is playing it, and it's going to be directed by Daniel Ferrens. He wrote and
know who
directed
that
it
is.
and produced it. It's going to be a really exciting movie. So the way so it's a reimagining of it because it's following the last couple
it
days of her
fictional?
life. So no, it's sort of. It's following the last couple days of her life based on a quote that she said. Because a year before she died, she kept saying how like she had like dreams that she was like haunted by ghosts and was like foreseeing her own death by the hands of like a dark cult. So like the bitch knew.
Okay, yeah.
But for some reason, she was like, I'm going to stay home. Like, no, you dummy. You get into a fucking... No, she's not dumb. She got murdered. Anyway. Hi, guys. No, but I'm just, like, really excited because, like, there's going to be, like, 3 Sharon Tate movies coming out. And, like, if there's one thing I really love, I love, like, the... And this is going to sound weird. I love when, like, really tragic things happen in Hollywood. But, like, old Hollywood. I don't like when tragic things happen currently. I don't want to see, like, a movie about, like...
George Reeves'
Yeah,
death. Yeah, that's really interesting, too.
I don't want to see a movie about like Heath Ledger in the hotel.
No,
That's boring.
That would be tough too. Like, I don't want to watch that movie. I really loved Heath Ledger.
I like the idea of like the reimagining. Also, I want to see Hilary Duff.
Oh yeah,
She's on like this
Hilary
show.
Duff is Sharon Tate. Yeah, no, I'm in.
I want to see Hilary Duff as Sharon Tate. You know who's another person playing Sharon Tate out of all of these?
Yeah.
Margot Robbie.
I was wondering if that's who she was playing. I haven't like looked into Tarantino's new film that much.
Margot Robbie's a Sharon Tate. Well, I think Tarantino's is more along. I think it's called like True Stories of Hollywood or something like that. So I think it's like
something like that.
taking place over like because I think like 1969 might have been like a really bad year.
Yeah, but I think
that
it's
was just like
focusing
the
on the
cap.
Manson murders.
Yeah, I think it's. Oh yeah, it is. I think it's focusing on the Manson murder.
I want to say the person playing Charles Manson in Tarantino's film is also playing Charles Manson on David Fincher's Mindhunter, the Netflix show.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, I remember the guy who's playing Charles Manson in 2 Things is the same person.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah,
it's a really good way to do it.
Well, if I remember correctly, the 2 Mindhunter and the Quentin Tarantino film are going to take place like at wildly different times. So he's gonna have to like do the character, you know, he's gonna have to do the portrayal at like very different stages in Manson's life.
Oh, I better Daniel Day-Lewis hit. Okay, well that was my news item. What is yours?
So mine's a little bit bigger, and by bigger, it's not that big because I don't think anybody's really gonna care when these things eventually do roll out.
I think I'll care.
But we are rebooting the Shrek and Puss in Boots franchise.
So, do you know like that I'm actually a huge Shrek fan?
I did not know that. And has Shrek aged well?
Yes.
It has.
Shrek and Shrek 2 particularly.
Shrek 2 is great. I love Shrek 2.
And Shrek 2 have aged well particularly. I think that they've actually aged better.
Really?
So, like, you know how, like, sometimes one of
such
the...
a product of, like, 2000.
Yeah, but you know, like, the thing about the early 2000s is that the current climate is that everything seems so problematic. Oh, this doesn't hold up.
That's what it feels like now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, now, I think that Shrek...
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
I think that right now they're seen as problematic. Things that were made then are seen in the aughts. Things made in the aughts are seen as problematic. But I think that, like, Shrek and Shrek 2 hold up. I was watching Shrek the other day. It's on Netflix. Okay. I was watching Shrek the other day, and I was like, whoa, like, this is a really good, like, romance.
Yeah, no,
like,
it is.
In general.
I just feel like the references are also so
Shrek
dated.
2 has the fairy godmother's
best character
holding out for a hero.
Mm-hmm. Oh, amazing.
Leaps and bounds with the juxtaposition of, like, Shrek and friends, like, storming through Far, Far Away in the castle.
Incredible. That moment, that movie, no, there was, like, a moment in my life where, like, Shrek 2 was, like, a really big deal. And that sequence where they're, like, charging the gates and stuff it's deeply emotional.
When you went to go come out to your family, were you, like, listening to Holding Out for a Hero?
I love that song so much. But anyway, the reason I brought it up is because, I mean, the test episode we did on Halloween kind of speaks to this, too, where... I mean, how far are we taking this reboot culture that we're rebooting Shrek? Does Shrek need a reboot? Does Puss in Boots need a reboot? Puss in Boots does not need a fucking reboot.
Puss in Boots doesn't. Question though. Oh no, it is animated because it's being done by Illumination Studios.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the people who did Despicable Me.
Doing it.
It's Illumination Studios. My friend sent me the article. I remember.
My God, like what? How?
So the animation's gonna be cool, but
who fucking cares?
What angle are they gonna take it?
They haven't announced pretty much anything yet.
If it's a continuation of the story, even though 3 was meh, 4 was no. Is there a 5th one?
No, I didn't see 4, but I know I saw 3, and I don't remember what 3 was at all.
Okay, so 3 was like was Prince Charming's revenge, and Fiona and the princesses had to save Shrek. And remember, they had those fucking kids, and the donkey dragon babies were there.
I don't remember Shrek 3 at all.
Shrek became a mess.
Shrek the Third? Is that what it was called?
It was Shrek the Third, and then there was Shrek Forever After.
Okay. And how many Puss in Boots movies are out there? I saw like half of one of them.
I think there's Puss in Boots, and then there's like a couple Puss in Boots specials on Netflix, but I'm not too sure that like there was like a Puss in Boots 2.
So they're
made for walk-in.
No matter what, we have killed this franchise, and we killed this franchise relatively recently. So what the fuck are we doing spending money trying to come up with a new idea? Come up with like if you want to do like a spoof of like old stories, do like a space opera animated spoof or something.
Okay,
like
I came up with a really good title for Puss in Boots 2. This puss was made for walking, and that's just what they'll do.
No, Josh.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
And then the tagline is, "One of these days, this puss is gonna walk all over you." You can also say that to someone on Grindr. One of these days, this puss is gonna walk all over you.
It's more of
bus.
a
Amen. Well, those are our news items. Okay.
So this week we're going to review Overlord. Josh,
Overlord.
Introduce Overlord.
Let me introduce it. So we're going to do a thing where we start introducing the movies just to give you guys a little bit of context for those of you watching. So Overlord is, well, first of all, it's directed by Julius Avery, who's done like not many things. He's also not that attractive, but anyway,
he is not attractive.
It's a movie.
He's not a smoke show.
The general premise of the movie is the night before D-Day, a bunch of American soldiers have a mission to take down a communication tower in a church as a means to aid the soldiers into getting onto the beaches of Normandy. A surprising twist happens when they enter the town.
This is how we're introducing movies.
This is exactly how I'm introducing it. Okay, hold on. I'm taking them on a journey.
All right, go ahead.
And Ed and 3 or 4 friends must now embark on a journey that will change the course of history forever. Okay, that was it. Yeah, So
You didn't talk about that they're zombies.
we were gonna get into that, but yeah, okay, Nazi Zombie the movie. Jesus, I was gonna like ease into it.
Okay.
That was gonna be the. Remember when I said, but something happens? Remember when I gave like there's a little bit of a twist?
It's that there's Nazi zombies.
Yeah, well, the twist is that
It's
there's
not
Nazi
a twist.
zombies.
It's like in the trailer and shit.
It is in the trailer. Okay.
Yeah.
Overlord.
Overlord. What did you think of it?
Okay, so first thing, I went to go see it with Drew, and I like
Drew's
seeing...
your boyfriend,
Yeah,
right?
he's my boyfriend, Andrew, I love you. No, so I really like going to see movies with him because, like, sometimes I think that, like, I come to movies with a little bit of a bias. Because I know how things are made, I know how things are done. And, like, sometimes I get taken out of, like, the fantasy of a movie.
Yeah.
And I kind of also... It's a double-edged sword because I'm starting to feel bad because I think I'm starting to take that away from him, like the Wonder films. Because like as we were leaving, he was like, "Man, there were some beautiful shots in there," and I was like, "Fuck."
That's good.
No, but it's great. It's great. It's actually 100% great. But like, I do like to get his opinion on things because like he doesn't come from like a film school background and things like that. And like, I liked the movie when leaving, but hearing him go, "Oh yeah, no, I liked it. Like it was cool."
Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie, it was a cool movie. A lot of the things that happened, in my opinion, were a little bit, like, predictable, if you know what the premise of the movie's gonna be. Like, beat by beat, you kind of know what's gonna happen. Like, there isn't anything that, like, really changes things for me mentally, but it was cool. Michael Shannon was in this.
No, he wasn't.
That wasn't Michael Shannon?
No.
That guy wasn't Michael Shannon.
The villain?
Yeah.
No.
That guy looked just like Michael Shannon.
Kinda.
That guy looked just like Michael Shannon.
It's not Michael Shannon.
That guy's not Michael Shannon?
I promise.
I thought that was Michael Shannon.
It's not.
I was so excited to talk about Michael Shannon today.
I will say that actor is maybe the best thing in this movie.
That throws away 10 minutes of what I was going to talk about.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding. I have a lot to say. But, like, yeah, I thought it was cool. There wasn't anything amazing to me. But I'm excited to go deeper into it. But, yeah, that's my base feelings. What's yours? What's yours?
I borderline hated this movie.
Borderline is a really good Madonna song.
I
This one is
really did not enjoy Overlord.
Okay.
It's a movie that I think it doesn't have fun with what it's doing.
You don't think so?
No, not at all.
You know what? I'm going to agree with you on that. That goes into something I was going to talk about.
Why is Act 2 of this movie a million years long? And why is Act 3, when we finally get to like the really fun stuff, like 20 minutes? And yes, Act 3 is better than Acts 1 and 2. Act 1, okay, I will say, the opening scene is amazing. Where he's diving out of the plane.
Yeah.
So Havana Depo, one of the stars of The Leftovers, he was also had a little bit role in Mother. He's the star of this movie. He's the lead. He's a really competent actor. I really like him. I wouldn't say he was like great in this or anything.
He was not great in this.
He was fine. He wasn't bad though.
I can tell you who was great in this when I start talking.
Okay.
Keep going.
But no, this movie just it's a movie. It's a revisionist World War II movie about Nazi zombies that like doesn't want to have fun with that. And that's fucking dumb. Like, I don't care. I don't want your, like, halfway practical take on Nazi zombies. I want, like, essentially, like, I want a B movie. Don't try to make this some real fucking filmmaking.
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna, like, really relish in, like, the fun of it. And it does get there. I think the villain, we should find out the name of the actor who played the villain, is really, really good. Especially when he starts going all like ham and crazy at the end. He looks like Harvey Dent Two-Face. But no, this movie like
his name is Pilo Asbike.
Oh yeah, I kind of recognize him from something else.
Oh, he's got a hard lazy eye.
But no, this movie just feels like it was trying to be something more than it was. And if it had really just relished in what it should have been, it would have been really, really fun. But instead, this thing bored me to tears.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
So when it came down to this movie to me, so here's the thing. Here's one thing you're going to learn about me. There's two kind of things I hate. I hate war movies. I'm not like a Full Metal Jacket person.
That's
I'm
one
not
of
a
the worst
Pearl
comic movies,
Harbor
but
person.
that's a terrible movie.
Saving Private Ryan, no thank you.
Okay, well there we go. Now you named one. That,
Dunkirk,
like.
no.
Okay, well.
Like, I'm not like a war movie. Like, that's just not my thing.
What about Apocalypse Now?
Apocalypse Now, not. I mean, the napalm dropping, cool. Besides that, I'm like,
amazing.
I'm like, nah, okay. Like, you know what it is? I just think war sucks, but to me, war's kind of boring. Like, I think in film, war can be boring. Like, I wasn't like a fan of like The Hurt Locker or Zero Dark 30, like shit like that. Like, I just wasn't like in on it. But like, war to me is kind of boring. Like, for me, like I like if like I want war to be fun.
I want them to do like war is.
Well, I want war to be fun. Like, and that's when I'm gonna get into war movies, is when they get like a little bit more fun with it. Like, okay,
like Inglourious Basterds. This movie kind of wanted to be like a
movie wanted to be a zombie Inglourious Basterds.
But
so
Inglourious Basterds is so much more fun than this movie.
But also one of the things. So here's what I also hate. I hate like zombie movies that go a little bit too serious with it. I think like the premise of zombies pass the aughts. After Zombieland, there's no reason for zombies to be serious. Like, Zombieland is a very good zombie movie because it has fun with the idea of, like, these motherfuckers.
What about 28 Days Later?
Okay, I think that movie was, like, maybe 30 minutes too long.
That movie's, like, 90 minutes.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. So...
Oh, my God, no. 28 Days Later is, like,
it would have been, like, a really cool episode of, like, Black Mirror, but...
You're sleeping on 28 Days Later?
I'm not sleeping on it. I was awake for the whole thing.
Oh my god. Okay, no, 28 Days Later is great, first of all.
But I think this movie took, like, the things I don't like about war movies and the things I don't like zombie movies and put them in, like, a really weird stew. I thought... So, I was hoping that this movie would have a little bit of fun in the way that, like, Inglourious Basterds has fun.
Yeah.
With, like, World War II.
Yeah.
This movie doesn't.
Inglourious Basterds has the most fun with World War II.
But for me, you know what saves this goddamn movie? Some of these goddamn shots.
It is pretty.
Some of these goddamn shots save this motherfucking movie. Okay. When he's swimming, when he gets dropped in the water, he's swimming up.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Running out of the church at the end.
Amazing. That was incredible. Yeah, no, that was incredible.
So fucking good.
And also, come on, that's the scene where Hovan Adepo really...
Oh, yeah.
No, he was great in that scene.
When the girl's, like, running from the zombie soldier...
I didn't care.
Well, the only reason why that was fun was just because it did cross-cutting very well, and it was very high-paced in the moment. There were just like some really cool like moments. Him shoving himself under the dead bodies and things like that was kind of funny. Can I talk about what the star of this movie is, though?
What's the star of this
His friendship with that boy Jacob. Okay, so here's the thing about the movie. So like, one of the things the corporal tells him in the beginning is, yeah, this is a war, but like friends die. Yeah. So for me, I was like, oh, theme stated, friends die. So he's gonna find a dead Jacob. And then that's going to be the thing that, like, switches him over from,
Jacob
like...
is the son, right? The kid?
No, Jacob is his friend that was on the plane.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Rosen something?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that was, like, super scared, and they was like, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna be there for you. And he finds Jacob, and, like, he takes the needle out of him, and then he nurses him to health. And then Jacob is dressed like a Sunday school teacher for the rest of the movie, and he's shooting. And, like, they're just, like, friends throughout the whole thing.
You really felt that? You really felt for this friendship throughout the movie? What? No, I disagree.
I did feel for it because it was super cute.
It was totally like textbook.
100% textbook.
But it didn't even. Like,
but it was, you know what it is for me? It was like, if I was in this situation, I would need like a little bestie to get through it.
Okay, but this movie was so unemotional.
Oh no, there was the one John Maggio's character. I'm calling him his Orange is the New Black name.
He's Morello's wife?
Yeah.
Husband?
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
His relationship... That is actually his human name.
He was...
John Magaro.
I found him infuriating.
I loved him. His relationship with that child... his relationship with the child was really the only character arc that I think was good.
Really?
In this movie, where, like, in the beginning of the movie, he's, like, a total asshole. He doesn't care about anyone. He's like, I'm just trying to get through this. And, like, I think he was, like, a little bit jaded by the war. But he was also one of those people that was, like... He was one of those people over exasperating himself as a means of like overcompensation.
So this character is also used a lot for comic relief, and I found the comic relief of this movie like completely grating.
Oh, I loved it. Like when the kid was speaking French to him, he's like, it's all like whoops and clicks to me.
It was all just cliched jokes about essentially, I mean, it was just jokes that you've heard in blockbusters for the last like 30 years repeated.
Well, yeah, 100%. But I think that like his relationship with the kid 100% changed, and like it didn't like change automatically. It wasn't like he hated the kid up until the shootout and he was like, I gotta save the kid. The kid started to grow on him over time, because even when...
So, that's not... like, how many,
I liked
how
it.
Many movies have done that before?
Well, I had to cling on to something to get through this movie.
But I kind of just didn't. I was like, this movie does not want me invested whatsoever.
Why do you have so much hate in your heart? Why are you such a hateful person, Matt? Maybe we should have an intervention episode where we talk about why you're so hateful.
This movie...
I have to redeem myself, because on episode 0, I really wanted a baby to get stabbed. So, like, in this movie, I was like, oh, I want this kid to live. And it's very rare that I'm watching a movie where I'm like, oh, I hope this kid lives.
The kid character here had about as much depth as, like, a crying baby.
Okay, he was a boy who didn't speak any English. He didn't have a chance to have... He had, like, 9 lines.
That's fine, but they gave him a lot of screen time, and they didn't do anything.
A lot of his screen time was running or rolling a ball.
It was him being cute and running. Yeah,
he was adorable.
He was cute, but
he was such an adorable
designed to
kid.
be cute.
Well, yeah, because you don't want him to die. Because the one thing you don't want is like, they might turn this kid into a zombie soldier.
It's another point in this movie where I feel like you can feel the screenwriter while you're watching it, like hitting all the same beats that he wants to hit from movies that have done this so much better for so much longer.
I kind of wish that. So what I kind of wish happened in this movie was. So there's a section in Act 2 in films that is normally called like the quote fun and game section, and the thing
Explain that to me.
So the thing about the fun and game section is where you get the premise of a movie.
Okay.
So like whatever your premise of the film is. So like the premise of this one would be Americans fight Nazi zombies. Premise of the movie.
Yeah, that's the story.
The promise of the premise during the fun and games would be like you get like sometimes like one of the promise of the premise for Rocky was the training montage, and like. Sometimes in like fighting movies it'd be like they're doing a bunch of different fights while they're getting better. Like it's the thing it's moving you into Act 3, but it's also giving you the beef of what you want to watch. Like it's giving you like the fun moments, the trailer moments, the cool moments.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, like it gives you what you want to see, like what you're seeing the movie for. Like, cuz the one thing that no one says when they're looking at a movie is I want to see it for the story. No, you want to see it for like what's being promised.
But people say that.
No, but you're seeing a movie for what's being promised to you in the trailer. Like, let me see, like, what's a good example? Like, the promise of the premise for, like, Thor Ragnarok is when, like, that's more Act 3. Promise of the premise is when they're in when they're fighting in the Gladiator.
Yeah.
Like,
that whole section on the Gladiator world, which is the best portion of that movie.
So the fun and games would be, like, right after him and Hulk fight and they're trying to get off the island, and like him and Loki are like he's using his like them getting off of the island for fun and games, because you want to watch Thor do this. Like Thor Ragnarok is about how are we getting back to Asgard to stop this.
You want to watch Thor and the Hulk team up. You want, because that's what you're promised. You want to watch Loki do Loki's thing, which is also makes you on that promise. Thor Ragnarok, the middle Thor Ragnarok, and not to get too off topic and talk about Thor Ragnarok for too long, but what you're saying to the fun and games thing, Thor Ragnarok is almost, that section of the movie is kind of all that Thor Ragnarok is, because Act 3 and Act 1 are really bad. Yeah. Well, to get to a movie that's a little bit closer to that premise is the fun and games of like Dawn of the Dead is when like we're killing zombies now. Like they're on the roof, they're shooting them. Like we're seeing zombies, the zombies are happening. Some are getting in, we're shooting them. Some are getting out, we're shooting them. We're moving through. Things like that. That's the fun and games. The problem with this movie is that it didn't have a fun and games section. No.
We saw, I want to say, 4 zombies at most, and 3 of them were humans when the movie started.
That's fair. I think it's important to point out. I think
one of the cool things that this movie could have done that would have helped is if, like, you saw how, like, at the very end in, like, Act 3 when all of them are, like, creeping out. Had that happened earlier, and some of them are, we can keep it contained to the town if we want to keep the whole, it's World War II, we would have had to explain that. Fine. It gets stuck into this town, they're leaking out outside the church, these dudes are shooting them, they're jumping on things like they're ripping people apart, things like that. You kind of want to see that, because that's where the movie would be a little bit better, because then you're like, okay, well, the story and everything, like the plots and like the characters, like the sequences and everything, like they kind of suck, but at least we got like some really cool zombie moments.
Well, okay, so when you talk about the fun and games thing, like I'm trying to think of another film that really skips the fun and games section and kind of
a lot of movies base themselves on fun and games. Like that's the thing.
Exactly. That's Marvel's entire
the fun
model.
and game section of the movie is like it's the promise of the premise. It's what you're gonna get.
Well, well then how about what's a case for a movie like Drive with Ryan Gosling where you really only have like a couple really great chases throughout it, and that there's the middle section which is mostly story, but the film still really works. Comparing Drive to Overlord in that regard, I would say Drive has a drive to it, where Overlord just like, while you're not having fun in games, the stuff that's on screen to make up for it does not work.
Yeah, I agree with you. 100% on that.
Okay.
So it's weird though. I kind of, even though like I have a lot of problems with the movie, one of the reasons why I still liked it was only because like I think that it really tried to redeem itself with, because like, the one thing I will say about this movie is that their characters are were very well tied to the time. Like,
I agree.
I think that, like, because some movies where they clearly don't give a fuck, like, they wouldn't have even tied the characters to the time. Like, people would have been making, like, out of time context dates, things like somebody would have made, like, a Taylor Swift joke, but it's like, but it's World War II. I'm just saying, like, some movies where they just don't give a fuck, they don't give a fuck. At least he gave a fuck in some aspect. That's kind of the reason why I liked John Magaro's character, only because like you can tell for a fact like he uses the N-word at the dinner table, and yeah, and you know what, that was the time it was. I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but it was the time. But like, one of the things I also had a problem with, well, the Nazis weren't that hardcore.
The one in Act 3 that's like where it's like a head. He's bald and he's kind of like running around like a crazy thing. I thought that thing was very creepy.
The zombie?
Yeah. You know, when she's in the facility,
actual soldiers.
Wait, say what you say.
I'm saying the Nazis weren't that hardcore in this movie.
Oh, sorry, you said the Nazis, and I took it to the zombies.
No, I think that like the soldiers themselves are like kind of pussies. If there's anything I learned about World War II is that those motherfuckers were like badass. Not badasses, but they were like fucking ruthless. Like I want to say like these people. I'm not saying that they weren't ruthless enough to be like I feel like they were all way too clueless as to what was happening, or like at least feigning cluelessness. Like
I disagree.
I definitely think
they're
so.
literally experimenting on people in the basement.
The captain didn't know anything happening.
The captain was also horrifying.
No. The problem is like I think he was taken out of power too quickly in this movie is what I'm saying. Like,
when was he taken out of power? He's taken out of power for like a minute, and then he becomes like a super zombie.
It was more than a minute.
It was barely like okay, well, I see what you mean. The scene where he's being interrogated
at the very end of Act 1.
Yeah.
Like the transition from the end of Act 1 into Act 2 is Ed coming down and putting his gun to the captain's head.
Sure.
And giving up their like...
And then Act 2 is like 90 minutes.
And Act 2 is 90 minutes, and for most of those 90 minutes, his hands are hoisted above his head, and he's getting punched in the gut. And all he's saying is, fuck you. And like, alright, cool, but like, I wish I would have seen like a little bit more fight in him.
I guess.
I mean, he shoots the photographer boy.
Well, you get that. You get rewarded with that in the end.
But like this dude didn't get any kills.
Is that true?
That is very true.
Thinking back,
he didn't get any kills.
Are you sure?
The zombies didn't get any kills.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The zombies got no kills.
Wow. That makes me like
that
this
also
movie
goes
less.
That goes back to my like problem with like fun and games. Mm-hmm. Here is that like if this is gonna be a movie about Nazi zombies, I want to see at least one kill. Like,
you get a lot of kills of the actual zombies.
There's 4 of them.
I know. Yeah, but like the kills that are there are like not bad. They're okay.
There's 4 of them, and 2 of them blow each other up.
I liked that though. It was fun.
No, it wasn't.
It was fun.
You know what would have been really cool? Is if Corporal, after he became a zombie, ripped the other one's head off.
Okay, maybe.
And then blew the thing up.
Yeah, whatever. But, like, I don't know. I just, like, what you're saying just goes back
Also,
to
they go back on their own logic. Remember when Ed is in the car, when he's running through the camp, and he sees them shooting fire on the zombies outside, and they won't burn? But then, when Homegirl has the flamethrower on her back, she sets that one zombie on fire, and he burns.
Yeah, you're right.
They go back on their logic almost immediately, and I think
that's like the last 15 minutes of the movie.
But I think like movies like that break their own rules, like after you break your own rule, there's no reason for anybody to believe anything that you'll say.
You immediately fall apart.
Immediately.
Yeah.
And I think that the rest of the movie kind of falls apart.
I totally agree.
Because, like, if she could have easily, outran this zombie super soldier in, like, heels and a skirt.
Yeah.
And they're not, like, no, she wasn't wearing, like, stilettos. She was wearing, like, fucking, like Sunday school teacher clogs. Like, it's fine. Like, you can run in them, but they're, like, not the most comfortable shoes, but, like, they're functional. Like, you get them at Kohl's. They're $37.99. Like, they're cool. But, like... like I remember I was watching that and I was like, really? Because like you know what would be really cool if she would have fucking died.
No, you could not kill the sole female badass of this movie.
I know, but here's what you have to do. Like, and here's the problem: is like they're setting up a love story for her and Ed, and there's no payoff for that.
Thank God there was not a payoff. Oh my God,
I wanted them to have mixed race babies.
This movie did not need a love story. Oh my God,
it didn't. But they set it up, so I thought we'd at least get a payoff.
They like
then what was the point of setting it up?
Half-assed it.
Yeah, exactly. So what was the point of half-assing something if you're not like that's the problem?
No, if you half-ass something and you want to introduce something as like maybe like a little bit of
why open a door if you're not going to close it?
Because you don't have to. Clearly they leave the movie open for a sequel.
Yeah, and now they have mosquitoes in their house because they left the door open.
But no, like
that's the problem here. There's a bunch of fucking mosquitoes and hornets flying around, and it's August, and now you can't have a 4th of July party.
This is your thinking of like leaving the door open is that you're gonna get bugs in your house.
Oh my God.
I know it's true.
You could also get like a murderer.
Well, yeah, but your mind went to mosquitoes.
That's how you know, like that's the one thing I get mad about.
I don't like mosquitoes either, but my God,
I hate bugs in the house.
I don't like bugs in the house.
I'd much rather like a fucking chainsaw killer than a bug in the house.
Oh, really?
I'd rather have someone come into my house and
like,
hack me to pieces than like a fly in like the corner of my eye while I'm watching TV, just like buzzing around. I'm like, oh, if someone can come in here and stab me up, so I don't have to deal with this.
So Leatherface versus Jeff Goldblum. It's Leatherface.
Well, when you put it like that,
I turned it on to you.
When you put it like that, well, I let him in. I didn't just leave the door open. He wasn't like, "Oh, here I go."
You like found.
I just think like, look, what is it? You know, not even. I'm not even gonna get into like my whole problem with flies. Like, what is even their lifespan? I feel like they live for like 40 years.
It's like a day.
Then why do I? Fuck is there one still flying around the apartment? Anyway, that's the problem. Is like they opened so many doors in this movie.
Which is a huge problem in Hollywood now in general.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Corporal was in Italy, and like they're making some like there's like this big backstory to him, and there isn't. Like there just isn't, and then they're telling all these stories like Ed wouldn't kill. What was the animal that he wouldn't kill? A mouse. When they were in boot camp and he was supposed to shoot the mouse, like he won't kill a mouse, and then he fucking bludgeons that one with the back of a fucking gun.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Also, he's in a science facility and he knows using this needle is wrong. One dude is dead, so he uses it, but he doesn't have like a moral dilemma about it. He's just like, well, I got this. Let's hope.
Yeah, no.
And then he bludgeons that dude with a gun. I'm like, dude, pick a stance.
Yeah.
And then also like the movie kept using the line like, if we're gonna beat him, we got to get as nasty as him. But then they don't.
No, they don't. You said, this movie is a lot of conversing about problems that like just don't like matter later on.
Yeah.
And I don't. But my big thing with Overlord is I don't know who this movie was made for.
I don't either.
Because it doesn't really fulfill the zombie promise. It doesn't really fulfill the war promise. It takes itself too seriously, so it's not like that much fun while it's like doing either of those things. So I don't know if Overlord like who was Julius Avery trying to reach with this?
That's a really good question. You know what's really funny? Typically, whenever I leave a movie, I think that, and leaving this movie, I didn't think that. And the reason why I didn't think that is because I didn't think to think that, because I don't think I cared enough. If I'm gonna be honest with you, because like sometimes I'll leave a movie and it's like, who the fuck was meant to watch that?
Yeah,
like Bohemian Rhapsody, we're not going to get too deep into that, but I was leaving that and I was like, who was meant to watch this? It was good.
I'm kind of so mad that movie's making so much money as it is, because like people, it's really good. Bohemian Rhapsody is a really good movie.
It's kind of really good.
It's
like, you know, like when something's like good.
Well, come on.
It's as good as a Hot Pocket on a Saturday afternoon.
Bryan Singer's a talented director.
Yeah,
but also he's a fucking scumbag.
Okay, but let's separate the artist from the art.
You know what? I can't separate the artist from the art when, like, we knew what he was doing and they still hired him to make the movie. That's insane.
But it's kind of really good.
No. I'm not giving him any more money.
He already got paid. You're not giving him money if you see the movie.
He'll get residuals or whatever. No, I'm not watching it. I also
it's not syndicated television.
I'm not watching it. Rami Malek is also, I mean, he's alright, but
I love him.
Really? He's alright. Anyway, okay, back to Overlord. So, do you have anything else that you wanted to bring up with this movie?
I mean, not really. Like, I just feel like I have like the feelings I have for this movie. I have for like a lot of like people in my family, like just really really lukewarm. Like,
oh my god,
I don't have like a lot of feelings about this movie.
My family is lucky that I don't feel about them the way that I feel about Overlord, because I hated this movie.
I mean, like, the movie just isn't like, it's not.
Well, I will say, I do think once the villain really gets going and he becomes like a super zombie, I thought the actor, I forget his name again, had a lot of fun with that.
His name is like Pillow.
Yeah, whatever. And I thought he had a lot of fun with that, and I really enjoyed just like just his like snarling attitude as like the movie progressed. The Act 3, I think, is definitely the strongest section of this movie. Not that it's even like very good, but like if we're really gonna get down to like what works and what doesn't,
yeah, okay.
I mean, this like prolonged Act 2 where we're really not doing anything in the replaced time of not having our front end games with the zombies and the Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
But Act 3 kind of starts to promise on that, and it doesn't get to where I would like it to have been, but it does do something. At least it does something. So much of this movie does nothing that at least Act 3 does something.
This movie is a series of characters that like do nothing for a really long time, and then they do a slither of something.
Yeah.
And then they're like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how this. I don't know.
Any final thoughts?
I think that like if I had to doctor this movie and like
script doctoring,
just fucking do meatball surgery on this. If you
what
guys
is meatball surgery?
It's like the term for when people do surgery on themselves, like at home.
Really?
Yeah. You should never do meatball surgery.
No, nobody should ever do meatball surgery.
Like, it's like, if you have like a bullet inside of you and like you cut it out yourself because you don't want them to call the cops for a GSW.
Sounds like what I do when I ate pretty poorly, but like I still want a bottom that night.
Yeah, that's exactly meatball surgery. It sounds like
meatball surgery is like when
purging
I'm myself.
Yeah, when you're purging your colon of like all the fucking takeout and Thai food. It also
works because like meatballs wouldn't be good for like somebody who wants to bottom. I'm gonna start calling my my enema time meatball surgery.
I don't think like.
This is it though. It's done.
I don't think that like when you're douching, like the one thing you need to worry about is, did I have meatballs today? Like I don't think meatballs like impede on it. I think like meatballs are fine.
No, meatballs aren't like great. Well, no, red meat in general isn't good for like your butthole.
Well, yeah, that's the reason why. Remember those Mauricia videos? She's like, I don't eat red meat, so my ass don't stink. Like right. It's true.
No, but like no. I'm gonna start calling all my douche time meatball surgery.
All of your douche time is gonna be meatball surgery.
Time. I actually haven't had to. I eat really well now, so I haven't had the douche in like a couple months.
So yeah, I saw the meal that you had when I was walking in there. I was like, oh, look at this little.
Well, no, that meal is like probably my least healthy.
No, but like
it was really good. It was like Cajun shrimp over pasta with a bunch of veggies. I'm a good cook.
I heard that in my ear.
If anybody ever wants to come over for dinner, I will meatball surgery myself, and I will make you some Cajun
So like they're gonna eat, and you're just gonna watch them until they can enter you. That's fucking creepy.
I'll sit on them while they eat my pasta.
This is a really weird euphemism. It's a really
I've lost myself a little in here.
Yeah, you've also strayed further and further away from God every day.
And Overlord.
This is the reason why God doesn't speak to us directly. No, if I had to go in, if I had to go back to Overlord, if I had to really go in and do like motherfucking surgery on this movie, one thing I would have done, I would have trickled in a little bit more zombies. Like, remember when they first get dropped off and they're in the forest?
Yeah.
I would have had some soldiers live and have them get pulled away, and I would have had us find body parts. I would have been the one dude who got blew up by the mine, I wouldn't have showed the mine. I would have had a zombie do that. Because they were in a fog. It would have been a little bit weirder. It would have been scary. I would have had more people know about it.
Yeah.
I would have had the girl know what's wrong with her aunt. I would have also had the aunt be a super soldier at the end. She's running around fucking snapping necks. I would have had the zombies killing Nazi soldiers and attacking American soldiers.
Interesting.
Just so that it's a problem for everyone. And then at the very end, it would have been a really big fight between Corporal and the captain for the German army.
Yeah.
The German army guy would have got his head ripped off. The other soldiers, the other zombies would have came at him. He would have blown it all up.
Did you just rewrite the whole movie?
I just rewrote the whole fucking movie, but didn't I make it better?
I mean, yeah, it sounds like it'd be more fun.
Yeah.
It really would lean in on its Grindhouse.
I would have 100% grind. Oh my god, this movie would have been if they would have given me $13, a Snickers bar. Oh, I would fix this movie for not much money because that's how bad I feel for a bit.
You're a cheap hoe.
A really good Snickers bar.
They're Snickers bar. They're I can't eat Snickers. I have a nut allergy. It's the most ironic thing in my life. I can't.
You have
eat
a
nuts.
nut allergy.
I like balls all the time, but I can't eat nuts.
So dudes can't nut in you? I'm sorry.
I mean, that's fine. I don't know.
That's why you use the term finish.
If I'm a little...
Who finished in me this week? Because you can't nut in you because you're allergic.
I like finish better than nut.
Well, yeah, give me that finish.
Finish?
It's like he's painting you. Oh, yeah, give me that finish.
It's actually funny. When a couple of friends and I, when we talk about eating out a vagina or an asshole, we call it painting our house.
That's some white people
shit. Do you want
shit.
to paint my house?
Do you say that to people?
I don't say it to people. I say it to my two good
Start saying it to people.
I say it to my two really
Watch
good
how
friends.
lonely you'll
Hi,
be.
Michael and Emily, I love you.
Oh my god, I want you to paint my house. Oh yeah, I want your finish all over my face after you paint my house.
I love facials.
This is really a painting reference.
I love facials.
Do you love facials?
Okay.
I like Bible study. No, but yeah, no, I'd doctor this film for not much money. Only because it needs it.
All right. So how many huffs for you on this one?
2.5.
That many after everything we just shit on?
2.5.
Fine.
Because and here's what saves it. Because I'm one of those
it.
people if a movie's fucking beautiful,
It was pretty okay, the art direction was amazing, but it was pretty-ish. It wasn't. I didn't think the cinematography was incredible or anything.
There were some really good. Okay, that fog when they're on the when they're lining in the fog, that was a really great. That was beautiful.
It was fine. Shrug.
You have so much hate in your heart.
One day we're going to do a movie on this podcast that I really, really love. And
hopefully it's a movie I really, really hate.
I hope so, too. That'd be really
So I can,
fun.
Shit in my hand and throw it at you.
I'll probably, cry.
I can, fucking...
I'll cry live on air.
Yeah, I can, throw doo-doo at you just so you feel how bad I feel
Why
right
are you
now.
throwing poop at me?
Because that's what you're doing to me emotionally.
Am I?
No. Not at all. Not over Overlord.
Fake Nazi zombie movie?
No, I'm just nervous for you to watch Comet and then we talk about it and you say one
That's going to be a scary
You
thing.
say one bad thing about Comet and I'm jumping out of a window in front of you to make you feel bad.
You'll hear the glass break.
Welcome to your motherfucking tape. No, but I'm kidding. But yeah, no. Yeah, what this movie needed was somebody to sit down with Julian and be like, "No, babe.
Yeah.
No, don't do it.
Have some fun." Honestly, that's mostly what he needed to be told. It's have some fun.
No, he needed to be told, "Don't do it."
Okay, I mean, maybe this movie shouldn't have been made, but...
No.
I don't know.
No.
No, baby.
No, baby. Don't do it, baby. No. No, yeah, no. I'm giving it 2.5 huffs because of how beautiful it is, but everything else to the wayside.
I'm gonna. I don't even have a condom out. Like, ugh.
Damn, the poppers are still in the drawer.
Yeah, I mean, if I really have to quantify it in huffs, I will give it 1.5.
Okay, that's not bad.
Act 3, it's bad. Come
I mean,
on,
it's
we're doing
bad.
This out of 5.
I know it's bad, but it's not bad in comparison to what I thought you would give it.
I took one half, and then I took a half of one because I was like, "Ugh, this movie sucks," and I want to do another one.
I'm not in.
All right, so Josh gave it 2.5. I gave it 1.5. That's our review of Overlord.
Email us at poppersandpopcorn@gmail.com and tell us how many huffs you give this goddamn movie.
Yes, you should do that. We check our mail definitely more than once a week. I haven't checked it.
I'm gonna check.
I will check it. I'll check it. Okay, Josh. So, what's your recommendation for the week?
I'm so excited to talk to you guys about my recommendation for the week because guess who it's directed by? It's directed by Sam Esmail.
Oh, fucking Jesus! All right. Are you talking about Homecoming?
I'm talking about motherfucking Homecoming.
I hate Julia Roberts.
I love Julia Roberts.
I'm gonna have to watch this show. Sorry, I'm gonna let you talk in a minute. I'm gonna have to watch this show for like end of year lists because it's supposed to be like pretty amazing, and I've kind of avoided it. Go ahead, I'll just finish my wine. Talk about Homecoming. Go ahead.
For all of my friends with Amazon Prime and the Amazon streaming service, we get the pleasure of watching Sam Esmail's current and like endeavor post Mr. Robot. And
Josh, I got some of your jizz on my face.
From me coming all over
right now, yeah.
Mr. Esmail. Of course you did. I love this. We get to talk about his new endeavor, and that's Homecoming. It's helmed by Julia Roberts. First of all, it's helmed by, what's his name from If Beale Street Could Talk?
What? Barry Jenkins?
What's his name? He's black.
Barry Jenkins?
He might be. The guy who was the guy in prison or something in If Beale Street Can Talk?
Oh, the actor?
Yeah.
Oh, I forget his name. That movie, I can't wait for that movie to come out and for everyone to see it.
Yeah, he's a second lead in that as an actor.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah.
To his girlfriend in the movie? Like, his girlfriend's the lead.
Yeah, he's the lead in the show.
Not Julia Roberts?
Well, it's him and Julia Roberts in Homecoming.
Wait, really? I didn't know that kid was in it.
Yeah. He's really
that
good.
makes me want to watch it.
He's very good.
It's
oh my god.
Half-hour episodes, right?
They're 40 minutes, so it's like an hour. Like 41 minutes. But oh my god, let me tell you something. Sam Esmail knows what he's doing and knows how to do it. He directs all 10 episodes, and dear god, I'm so happy that he does. There's such beautiful shots. The coloration in this movie is gorgeous. It takes place.
It's not a movie, it's a TV show.
It's a movie. And the reason why I say it's a movie.
Oh my god. Are you one of these people who's like, oh my god, my 5-hour TV season is just split up into episodes and like, it's a movie, really. I'm David Lynch.
Yes. That's exactly.
Okay.
It's like a 10-hour movie, honestly. Like, it tells a really great story from two different, like, time periods. Julia Roberts is the fucking man.
No, she's not.
Julia Roberts is the goddamn man. The acting in this is amazing. The direction in this is amazing. It's a fucking beautiful show. I advise everybody, definitely take a chance. And if you have Amazon, watch Homecoming. It's 10 episodes. And this is going to be the only time I tell you guys to watch a show over a movie. But I'm not really, because this is a movie.
This whole TV being a movie thing is bullshit.
Why are you so angry?
Because they're two different mediums, and it really like devalues television when you're like, but it's really a movie. It really does. No, it devalues television to say
television's
that.
already devalued with the idea of a streaming service. Like nothing's a
no, that's bullshit. Because streaming services have bore some of the best shows on TV so far. BoJack Horseman. Have you not watched BoJack Horseman? No. What's this noise you're making? So BoJack Horseman is one of the best shows of all time.
have like a really weird story with BoJack Horseman, but yeah. Anyway.
Okay. My recommendation. If you were you done?
I'm still coming
with
over
your
the
terrible ideals about television being.
This is the first time I've ever said anything like that, and it's about this.
I hate it so much that you said it. My recommendation, it's actually also on Amazon, but it's a movie that was out over the summer. It might be my favorite movie of the year. I don't know. I have to do some rewatching. Madeline's Madeline. It's now available on Amazon. It's like a $3 rental or whatever. It's this really, really beautiful avant-garde story of a young actress who is struggling with mental illness and her journey into like accepting herself as an artist. And it's about the people who manipulate her between her mother and her teacher. And it's a really, really powerful story with some really inventive storytelling. And it as far as like going to the cinema goes and watching a movie, there was not a movie this year, and I don't know if this is my favorite movie of the year. I need to rewatch a few, but I haven't been to the theater and felt film and cinema in general as alive and like thriving as I have watching Madeline's Madeline.
I'm gonna give it a watch.
In a long ass time.
I'm gonna give it a watch.
It's really good. It's only like 90 minutes or something. Josephine Decker is the director. So, female director. It's a cast of all women pretty much.
Cool.
It is an amazing movie. It's a great New York movie too.
Okay.
And I loved it so much. I don't even know when it came on Amazon, but I like literally looked to see because I was looking to rewatch it, and it's on there, and I just had to throw out a recommendation for it. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It was only in 4 theaters ever total.
Oh, okay.
It's so weird and it's so experimental that it just didn't expand.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good. I highly, highly recommend it.
Are you gonna watch Homecoming?
I'm gonna fucking have to at some point. I know, because I'm a TV critic on the side, and for end of year stuff, watching Homecoming is just gonna be important. I can just tell at this point. Watching Homecoming, and then I'm gonna watch the new season of It's Always Sunny.
Homecoming is the new season of It's Always Sunny is kind of.
Did you watch the finale? I caught the first 10 minutes and I was crying with laughter. I thought it was amazing.
This season of It's Always Sunny is the least funny season in my opinion.
That goes against everything that I've read about it and heard about it. So
this season is the least funny season.
Okay, well, I'm excited to watch it. I really like.
If we're gonna talk about the issue of promise of the premise, I think It's Always Sunny loses the promise of the premise. This season,
but I have not watched. I have not watched any of it. So
I've watched every season. So yeah, no. But,
I've seen a lot of seasons of It's Always Sunny, but I have not watched this season. So I'm gonna try to do that.
Yeah, definitely do it. Homecoming's gonna win some Golden Globes. It's taken home some awards. It is.
There are more deserving shows, I'm sure.
You haven't seen it.
I know, but I know what shows have been out this year, and I know what level that they're on.
Homecoming is on a different level.
I'm excited.
Homecoming is the only show that I can tell you right now that you'll be excited to watch how Jam gets made. The opening sequence for episode 4, Jam is getting made, and it's so beautiful. It looks so fucking pretty. It does have a context. So you're just coming at it with your own bias because you have so much hate in your heart.
And I don't like Julia Roberts.
You're such a hateful human. You have so much hate inside of you, and you're just taking it out on people.
Like Julia Roberts, she's bad. She's not a good actress.
Okay, and with that, we're gonna end this episode.
That was a loud laugh.
I'm
infuriated. I hope I didn't burst your ears.
Infuriated.
You should be. I'm infuriating.
Pretty Woman, Eat, Pray, Love.
Eat, Pray, Love is a bad movie. This has been the second official episode. Josh is giving me a death stare right now.
This might be my last episode. I'm kidding.
We made it to 2 episodes, and Josh is already mad.
I'm already quitting.
He's so mad. This has been Poppers and Popcorn. Thank you for listening. Next week, we're going to do a double episode.
We're going
to review the new Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. How big of a Harry Potter fan are you?
Okay. I'm a fan of Harry Potter. Okay, so I'm gonna just give you a quick little anecdote.
Yeah.
So in middle school, I had this one friend. Her name was Ariel. She was really weird, and her dad was in prison.
What does this have to do with Harry Potter?
I'll tell you right now. She really didn't have any friends, and me and her kind of really clung to each other in a weird Christian school because I was the gay kid, and she was a self-proclaimed Wiccan. So naturally, we didn't really fit in with the Jesus freaks.
Okay.
Well, I'm sort of a Jesus freak also, but whatever. Anyway, She got me to read all the Harry Potter books.
Okay.
And like I was a really big fan of them, and then I watched the movies, and like I was like a fan. I was like, oh, this is cool. But like I'm not like one of those like Harry Potter stans like people are. Like, you know how like people like sell their house so that they can like go to Harry Potter World.
I was for most of the aughts and the early parts of this decade. Yeah, that's right. I used the aughts.
I used it as a joke.
I know you used it earlier. I used it for real because it's a word and it has a meaning, and I was employing it in that purpose. And no, I was a big Harry Potter fan for a while, but Fantastic Beasts kind of left me a little bit sour. The first one, it's fun, but it left me a little bit sour. And
did you not find them? Because it's like Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. Did you not find them?
They're in the movie. I found them.
Oh, then what were you upset about?
I love the Fantastic Beasts.
You got the promise of the premise. You saw the Fantastic Beasts and you found out where to find them. What more did you want?
I'd really like a Fantastic Beast to just walk into my life right now and like sweep me under my feet.
Sweep you under your feet or off of your feet?
I don't know. Whatever the expression is. So yeah, we're gonna do a double episode next week of Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, and we're gonna do Steve McQueen's Widows. Which Widows looks fucking amazing. I'm so excited.
It looks alright.
Okay, well, fuck off. But
get ready for me to talk about how to get away with murder a lot.
Josh, where?
Just get ready for that.
Josh, where can we find you on social media?
Social media. Okay, so we can go on Instagram on _ohgreat _ it's Josh ITSJOSH. Like, oh great, it's Josh. Just think about that. Like, just think about how unhappy you are to hear my voice. And then Twitter, because I made this Twitter when I was in college, and I'm not changing it, at JRanosaurus, because I'm an animal. At JAYRANOSAURUS. At JRanosaurus.
And you can find me on Instagram at COtter318 because I have a hairy little chest and I'm skinny. And
is 318 your original area code?
318 is my birthday, March 18th.
Oh, cool. My sister's March 25th. You're an Aries.
Oh, cool. No, I'm a Pisces.
Same shit.
The cutoff.
The cutoff is the 21st. Yeah.
Like and then you can find me on Twitter at Dr_Docherty, Doctor just DR _Docherty DOUGHERTY. My Twitter's my favorite.
Doherty, and it's not like Shannon.
Whatever.
Love her.
Otherwise, yeah, if you have, I know we said it before, but if you have any email requests for us, questions, whatever, email us at poppersandpopcorn@gmail.com.
Is it and, or is there like a letter N?
I don't think,
them?
Can you do an ampersand on Google?
No, but I meant and, like
and is spelled
A&D,
out.
so it's poppers and.
It's spelled out.
So that for everyone out there who doesn't know, because we're just speaking it, it's poppers and the full word and.
Yeah, full word and for this email that we check all the time, I swear.
I have it linked to my phone.
Do you? I tried to link it. I tried really hard at this shitty work event, and I like couldn't link it to my phone, and I tried really hard, and I failed.
I don't fucking have it.
So otherwise, we will talk to you next.
We'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for your time and listening. We love you.
We love you. That's
don't die. Come listen next week. All right.
Mwah.
Bye.
Mwah. Mwah. That was good.
Oh fuck.